I have friends
Mhm.
across all industries, um, and at some level, every organization is embracing AI. And if you can partner with your IT department, if you can partner with,
Yep.
um, whomever in your organization is leading the way, right? Because here's what we do
Mhm.
know: not all departments are going to be moving at the same pace, right? So you may have to
That's right.
partner with a department that's moving at a little faster pace, and then you
Mhm.
learn how to socialize how your team can best use it, right?
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. All right. So let's move on to the next topic. Measuring the ROI of Gen AI in your career, right? So tracking time saved on routine tasks and using that as a metric for productivity gains. I mean, I get excited when we talk about this because this goes back to something that's near and dear to me and Terry's heart, metrics,
You
right?
know what? Hey, I told someone the other day, I said, look, I got a friend and we say this all the time. If you're not measuring it, you can't manage it.
Impossible. Yeah.
It's impossible.
Impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible to do it. Right. Being able to, if you just start tracking what you're doing, right, and putting it in the tool and saying, how can I make this better? Right. It'll start giving you ideas and creating, these, um, these opportunities for you to get efficiency and productivity gains that you can take back to your boss. Everybody has a annual review season.
Yes.
Imagine being able to sit down in your annual review season and say, "Hey, these are the things that I did differently this year, and how it produced this result as different to the previous year." And this is the value that I've created for the organization. What do you think they're going to say to you versus the person who just does the minimum? Right? This
Wow.
again, this is your career superpower. This is your career advantage if you choose to use it. Another thing you can do is noting improvements in your work quality or speed that lead to positive feedback from managers. Right? Being able to track these things so that you can see the ROI, the return on investment of using Gen AI. Right? You want to be able to track these things so that you can see what it's actually doing. All right. So moving a little bit forward, identifying any career advancements or new opportunities that came from using the Gen AI tools, right? As a result of you growing, right? And this is a really important point. As a result of you growing, using this tool to grow in your capacity in your current roles, you're going to learn more, you're going to learn faster, and bigger and better opportunities are going to come for you. Because again, you have to compare yourself to the person who's not using this tool, right? They're going to be doing the very bare minimum, and you're going to be given such a higher level of quality that is going to open up doors and opportunities for you. Any thoughts on
Yeah,
that,
so
Terry?
by default, right? Any tool that you're using that's allowing you to um produce, right? Better quality of, um, let's just use emails, right? Let's say you're
Hmm.
only using it for email, and your ability to write an email better is gonna it's there, right? It's by default because
Yes.
you are reading the content, you are interacting with the tool, saying, "Hey, make the email shorter," right? So it'll
Hmm.
teach you how to write more concise, stronger
Yeah.
emails. Let's say that
Yeah.
you tend to only focus on yourself in the email, but you want to write emails that focus more on the person you're writing to, right? It will help
Mm-hmm.
you learn the words um, that frame you're important, more important, your needs are more important than my needs, right? So
That's
essentially
good. That's
anything that
good.
you are practicing and you are
Hmm.
those so I've been kind of going through this training about neuroplasticity in the brain, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so we have these
Mm-hmm.
pathways that we've been operating on for such a long time. Well, when you
Mhm.
introduce another train of thought, right, and you start, practicing that over time, you create these new pathways. So you are, again,
Mm.
the new pathway is, how do I frame what I'm trying to say where it's not centered around me? Right? I
That's
remember one
good.
of the books
That's
I
good.
read, and it was, man, it was a struggle when I first started doing this. Actually, I think it was How to Win Friends and Influence People. I went through a stage where I'm not writing an email that starts off I. You know how much
Right.
work that was? That was a lot of work, man, to write those
Yeah.
emails, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
you get into the prompt, hey, write this email about whatever, this new widget
Mhm.
that's coming, and don't make it about how great we are at implementing it, but talk about
Mhm.
how if it's going to be a benefit to them, and we just want to partner
Mhm.
with you on it. When you start
Sure.
seeing that language, right? Now it
Yeah.
becomes a part of your language. If you start practicing that over and
Yes.
over and over and over again,
So
right?
good.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, so again, right? Those of you, I did something today. I normally don't. I haven't done in a while, but Terrence wanted me to go out and practice with him this morning. Bro, I was out at 5 a.m. this morning getting up
Mm.
buckets. I hadn't done this in a long time with Terrence, but he had still been putting in the work, and it's probably been a few
Mhm.
months. I'm like, bro, I see the work. When
Mm.
you put in the work, the
Yes.
results and they will be seen. So all we're
Mhm.
saying is just put in the work, put in the time with
Yes.
it. And over time,
Yes.
you will get better. And the person that had seen you in a couple, you haven't sent that person an email in a couple months, they're gonna read that email, they're gonna be like, whoa, boy, that was a strong email. Because here's the thing, right?
Yes.
You're not just letting it write the email and you just take, there are times I'll get an email and then I'll frame it after I get it. But I still want to
Mhm.
have some
Mhm.
influence and I'm influencing it by talking about the tone and the direction of it.
Mhm.
But even after that,
Mhm.
I'm still adding nuance, right? I'm adding my
Mhm. Mhm.
creativity to it.
Right.
And so again, as
That's
you
right.
do that,
That's right.
it becomes a part of it becomes a part of you. Your prompts become stronger, right?
Yes. 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 Yeah, now that's good, man. That is so good. I think here's a pro tip for you. Um, if you've never asked yourself the question, and I kind of touched on this in a previous episode, if you've never asked yourself the question, how does my role help the organization that I work
Mm,
for generate revenue? Ask ChatGPT that.
mm.
Tell it what you do, and ask it to break down how
Oh, that's awesome.
what you do
Oh.
specifically, creates revenue.
Mm.
It's going to open your mind up to some things that you probably never even thought
Oh,
about.
that's a great question.
By doing this, you enable your company to do that. And because your company is able to do that, it now is able to make revenue. Do you understand the power of you being able to explain
Wow.
that in a meeting? Right? I'm telling you, this is the pro tip. You got to take this down. This is the pro tip. If you don't do anything else but just use it to understand how you and what you do create revenue for the organization, you'll be able to Terry's point, because you've been, using the tool, understanding what it's teaching you, your vocabulary will begin to change. How you articulate what you do will begin to change. And leaders notice that.
Yes.
Again, compared to the person who's just doing the minimum,
Yes.
you're going to move right by them like they
Yes.
said to steal.
Yes.
Right. So this is good
Yeah, you
stuff,
can't
man.
let it
This is good
pass you
stuff.
by, man.
Mm-mm.
There are, and I'm gonna challenge those out there. And this is something that actually it's not it's something that I've adopted. It's actually something that I took from my wife. And sometimes, we as individuals who have strong resolve,
Mhm.
we can be so locked in on a method or a way, and I'm talking about myself, to be honest here. We, we Ralph was worked with me many years. He knows my resolve is it's resolute. It's resolute, but it took years, and I finally just said, you know what? She's right. She says, "It doesn't have to be either or. It can be both."
Mm, mhm,
So meaning that
mhm,
those of you who are still on the fence about, AI and, its diabolicalness, again, just give it a try. It
mhm,
doesn't You don't have to do either. You don't have to be so pro or you don't have to be so against it. It can be
mhm.
both. And we're gonna talk about this. There's a balance with it. There is a balance
Yeah,
with it. And just don't let it pass you by.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Good point. Great point. Great point. Great point. So let's get into the next topic, which is ethical
Yes.
considerations when using Gen AI. Right, ensuring transparency when AI is used in decision making processes. Right. So you can't you can't go use AI to do all your work for you. Right? And just say, "Oh, yeah, I'm so wonderful. I came up with all this on my own," right? It's good to be, to have integrity and to make sure that you are transparent, when you use these tools, right? There's nothing wrong with saying, "I used a Gen AI tool to help me think through the process and come up with, frameworks and things of that nature," right? In my opinion, it makes you more valuable when you can articulate that because it shows that you understand how to use generative AI tools to make you better, which makes the organization better. But you don't want to try to, come across as though, yeah, I came up with everything on my own and I'm just the greatest thing in the world because somebody will ask you a question about something that you don't understand and it'll surface your inefficiencies quickly right there in front of you, right? But I mean, what are your thoughts on
Yeah,
that,
I,
Terry?
I here's the thing, right? Most companies today are embracing it, and to be seen as a leader in that area or in that space, I think it's great. Um, yeah, I think transparency is good. I think it's also relevant because you want to ensure that you are in alignment with um, the acceptable use policy is what I'm thinking about
Right.
of
That's right.
how your company is
Yeah.
saying, they want you to leverage it, right? I have friends
Mhm.
across all industries. Um, and at some level, every organization is embracing AI. And if you can partner with your IT department, if you can partner with, um,
Yep.
whomever in your organization is leading the way, right? Because here's what we do
Mhm.
know, not all departments are going to be moving at the same pace, right? So you may have to
That's right.
partner with a department that's, moving at a little faster pace, and then, you
Mhm.
learn how to socialize how your team can best use it, right?
That's really good. That's really good. Yeah. Yeah, you summed it up well, Terry. It's something that you want to get in alignment with. I posted something on LinkedIn this week, and I don't take credit for it. The CEO of NVIDIA actually said this. I don't remember his name, but he said, "AI may not replace your job, but somebody who knows AI probably will."
I saw that post. Yeah, I saw that.
That's the reality that we live in today. Right? If you were to look at the investments that these companies are making into AI, you have to ask yourself the question, they're not doing this just because it's cool.
Right.
They're doing this because it's going to make them money. And those who align, you have a definitely a great opportunity in history. Right now, for me, as I talk to young people who are getting into technology, if you had asked me 5 years ago what to get into, I would have said
Yeah.
cybersecurity. Um, but now 100% is
Yes,
AI.
for sure.
Right, and I know that's a very general and broad term, but you need to start learning how to use AI to fix business problems. That will take you the next 15 to 20
And I
years
think that's the
into your
key,
career.
Ralph. Here's the thing, right? Here's what we know. Ford solved what business problem? I need to get from A to B
People
faster,
Yeah, that's right. Yep,
right? At the end of
yep,
the day, it's the same. Every organization has the same problem. How do I get from A to B faster? Now,
that's
what
right,
is A
that's
and
right,
what is
that's right.
B? You gotta fill that
That's the
in.
key. Hey, and AI can help
It
you
can
with that.
it can help you define the A and the B.
That's right. That's right. On so many levels, it can help you. Thank you for listening to the Leadership Sovereignty Podcast. If this content blessed or helped you in any kind of way, support us today by subscribing to our YouTube channel, clicking the like button for this episode, and sharing this content with others that you think it will help. Until next time, stay safe, peace, and blessings.